Welcome to Bed Crime Stories Podcast. I'm your host, T. How y'all doing? I hope you're having a great day. Do me a favor, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm not currently monetized, so if you'd like to support my channel, please consider a Patreon membership, and you can find out how to do that in the description of this video. Hi guys, there was a fantastic article in the Tallahassee Democrat today about Donna Adelson and her 13-minute diatribe during her sentencing. And I thought I would share it with you because not everybody has a subscription to the Tallahassee Democrat. The article described her 13-minute speech as defiant, and it said she tried to rewrite the reality of her involvement in the murder for hire of her former son-in-law, Dan Markel. During this crazy speech, she claimed that she had nothing to do with the crime and that she was devastated by the loss of Markel, and that the prosecutors had gone after an innocent woman, a sweet little grandmother. The article wrote that the comments flew in the face of vindictive emails and texts that she sent to her daughter Wendy, in which she expressed hatred for Danny and suggested dressing his sons up in those very offensive uniforms from Germany. I think you know what I mean. And the claims also ran contrary to the wiretapped conversations between her and her son Charlie, in which she described the bump as something that involved, quote, probably the two of us. And of course, she certainly upset Leon Circuit Judge Stephen Everett, who ended up giving Adelson the mandatory sentence of life in prison, which we all knew she was going to get because that's a mandatory sentence. But he also gave her 30 years for conspiracy and solicitation. Here's the Tallahassee Democrats' first takeaway from her sentencing hearing. 1. Donna Adelson wanted to clear her name in the eyes of her family and her friends. That's what the goal was for her 13-minute tirade. The comments that Donna and Harvey Adelson both made were not so much aimed at a skeptical general public, but rather at the people they still care about. Think about it. It's probably Ben and Lincoln, the two grandsons, and their remaining friends. Here's a quote from the article. They're sending a message to the boys, sending a message to their friends that I'm an innocent person. She's resigned to the fact that she's going to die in prison, and I think they just wanted to clear their name and assure the boys they had nothing to do with it, end quote. Josephine Jo Petuto, a professor of constitutional law emerita at the University of Nebraska, said, quote, it was a way for her to say whatever she wanted and not have to risk cross-examination and also not to risk any kind of perjury charge. She insulated herself from having to stand up and be challenged by what she said, so therefore she was free to misstate the record, which she did. End quote. Donna also lashed out at Judge Everett because of his decision not to grant her a change of venue. Everett did the same thing to Charlie Adelson. Donna said, quote, all I wanted was a level playing field, but the court wanted the trial here in the hotbed of Tallahassee, end quote. A day after the sentencing, Assistant State Attorney Georgia Kappelman told a Tallahassee Democrat reporter that Donna only helped the prosecution when she, quote, shot arrows all over the courtroom, including to the judge, end quote. A lot of people are giving props to Kappelman and Everett because they handled the situation professionally, even as Donna Adelson made ludicrous assertions, including that she loved Dan Markel. I think everybody can tell that she hated Danny, and everything she wrote said she hated him. Another attorney is quoted as saying this, Donna Adelson's attorneys did the best job they could with what they had to work with, which wasn't much given the weight of the evidence. They gave them great representation and fought gallantly to the very bitter end, but no lawyer could have won that trial It just wasn't in the cards. It wasn't going to happen, end quote. That same attorney said that he wasn't surprised by what Harvey and Donna said during the sentencing hearing, given what the Adelson family, aside from Rob, conspired to do. There was zero remorse. The article discussed whether Donna's statement could impact her or her son Charlie's appeal. We know for sure Donna's going to file an appeal. She has 30 days to do it. And that appeal will likely mention Everett's decision not to grant a change of venue. Again, Judge Everett denied the same request from Charlie Adelson, and that is was Charlie's central theme in his appellate brief before the First District Court of Appeal. A former prosecutor weighed in and said that Donna and Harvey Adelson's comments will have no impact on either her or her son's appeal, barring extraordinary circumstances because they are outside the record of what happened during her trial. This attorney is quoted as saying this: "The only way they'd have an impact is if her convictions were completely reversed on appeal. So now there's a new trial, she's made statements, and if she got on the witness stand, they could confront her with the statements. But I don't think all 3 charges are going to be reversed. In fact, I don't think any of them will be," end quote. I guess Donna and Harvey are hoping that their grandsons will overlook the conviction and the conviction of Charlie Adelson, their uncle, and maybe continue, if they do, to believe their grandparents and their uncle when they say they had nothing to do with the crime. But Dan Markel was a very intelligent man, and I suspect those smarts are in his 2 sons. And I know for a fact that the older son does remember his father. He apparently said when he was younger that he misses his father. Donna, of course, said she didn't believe that. She didn't say that to his face, but that's what she said about the situation. So I do believe at least the oldest son will see through all this BS. Just my opinion. Please like, share, and subscribe. Love you guys. Sending you positive vibes for a great day. See you next time.